We've talked a lot about the next patch, 11.0.5. I'm excited for it. It's not really an event, this anniversary thing. As I said before, it's a full-blown patch. We're getting 8 weeks of a new raid, new dungeons, time walking, new gear, new mounts, everything. I mean, it's pure insanity, all the stuff that we're getting in this patch. It really is more than just a 0.5 patch, but they're calling it a 0.5, and it's very, very big. Let's see what Bellular has to say about everything that's coming.
Welcome back, everyone. I've got great news today because our first content patch has been revealed, and versus Dragonflight patch 10.0.5, well, this time it's pretty big.
Yeah.
We've got a raid, 6 time-walking dungeons, a stack of world content, and a massive pile of new rewards, and it's all themed around WoW's 20th anniversary, though there are a few more things coming. As an example, Shamans are getting these new Ascendance forms, which look pretty nice, and Drakthir will finally get to be other classes, specifically Hunter, Rogue, Mage, Priest, Warrior, and Warlock. So, with that said, let's get into the main event and all of the content that we'll be getting, plus the rewards, and a way to make your life just a little bit better with today's sponsor. Okay, this is a real simple quality of life upgrade for you. Having a bad charger that's slow, that's only got one port, or things like that sucks, and this is the solution. It's Ugreen's new Nexode Pro 100-watt charger. It's got USB-A and 2 USB-C ports, where its management system will automatically balance power so you can fast charge from all three at the same time. But if you really need fast charging, say for your laptop, the USB-C 1 port outputs 100 watts, which is enough to take, say, your MacBook Pro 14 from 0% to 50% in just 27 minutes, and you can pick them up at the link below. Now, the reason why there's all this performance, but also low weight and a really small footprint, is gallium nitride. Basically, it's the latest tech. It produces less heat. That means smaller chargers, no big hulking bricks like those stock Apple chargers that are heavier, larger, slower, and only have a single port. Now, of course, this has got all the chips to protect you from overheating, overcurrent, over voltage, short circuits, and all of that stuff. And personally, I just like being able to pack one single charger that does everything that I need. And if I'm ever in the States, I've got the US version too. So you can check this out at the link down below. And just so you know, I've been using Ugreen chargers for years, and well before they
40K looks really good. I was watching gameplay yesterday.
So you can check them out at the link down below. And a big thanks to Ugreen for making our content possible. Let's talk content then. So, Blackrock Depths is back. This time it's a mini-raid, and it's got 8 bosses plus 5 mini-bosses on LFR, Normal, and Heroic difficulty. Now, this should be dropping after most guilds have done Heroic Narubar, which is the base raid of the War Within. So this basically means whenever you'd usually have your, mid-raid tier lull, we'll just get another raid. Now, of course, I don't expect this to be a replacement for a full modern raid, but if it's there at a Heroic level, that's certainly at least, a week or two of just having some more fun with your raid team.
Yeah, here's the thing. I don't know what the item level is going to be. They haven't revealed that yet. Whether or not it'll be an upgrade for things, probably not. You're not going to be breaking tier set and everything else to put these items in. But the cosmetics alone are a great reason to run it. Everybody's going to be running this thing for the tier set cosmetics, for sure. And then they have weapons and everything else coming. So this is going to be a fun thing to do. And they also talked about that it's not just a up-res of the dungeon, or the raid. It is, in fact, like a rework of a lot of mechanics and stuff. They are bringing it to basically modern-day WoW, and it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. It's something to do, for sure.
Always use another death knight.
Chiefs, baby. Yeah, Kate, it's Congratulations on your win yesterday.
Well, that's not actually all, because Deadmine, Zul'Farrak, as well as both wings of Dire Maul and Stratholme are going to be in as time-walking dungeons. I kind of love this, and these will stick around in the time-walking holiday rotation afterwards, which actually means no Battle for Azeroth time-walking for now, and I think that does make a lot of sense. The Siege of Borealis is part of the Season 1 War Within rotation, and I think Blizzard almost certainly want to keep the more modern, and I think therefore more translatable to Mythic Plus stuff fresh. Plus, I mean, I don't know about you, but BFA and Shadowlands time walking is maybe not something I'm super into. Now, another nice thing is you can queue for
I'm actually really, really happy with the time walking choice they made. I personally love going back to Deadmines. I've always liked Deadmines a lot. It's very nostalgic for me. It's the first dungeon I ever ran in this game back in freaking 2005. So going back to Deadmines is really cool. We're also getting Stratholme, which is amazing. One of my favorite dungeons of all time. I love a good old culling every once in a while, so why not? I forgot what the other two are, but also very nice classic dungeons. And there's some really cool cosmetics. I saw if you were briefly looking at their computers while they were showing clips from this event, I saw an Edwin Van Cleef transmog, basically his entire outfit. So it looked pretty damn cool. I'm excited to get a lot of these things. Dire
from level
Maul is the
10,
other
which
one,
means
yeah.
they should be pretty damn massive for
2
power
wings of it, I
leveling.
believe.
There's also going to be a vendor refresh, and taking a look at the B-roll in their video, there seems to be a Hippogriff and a Mani Battle Bear recolor, as well as a Spellweave Carpet, with the carpet being 5,000 Time Walking coins. Now, on that, remember, Time Walking coins work a little bit differently than they used to. The Time Walking coins are now warband wide, which means you'll be able to consolidate them. That does mean, if I was to give Blizzard just a little bit of feedback, give people a shot at the other Time Walking vendors, just like pick up some of those old mounts. And then we've got the Gates of Anchorage. This is quite something, because what they've done is they've made a scenario that is based on the Gates of Anchorage event from late vanilla.
Yeah.
If you weren't around back then, don't worry.
This event was just a bit disappointing for me because I'm not going to lie, I wish it was an open world event like the original Gates of Anchorage. Now, I understand they're not going to do that because that shit broke the game when it first came out anyways. So it's like this instanced event that you queue for now. But still, you know, just, I don't know, man. Sometimes breaking a server is a little bit fun. Sometimes seeing all those people in the open worlds is exciting, but we're not going to get that. We're going to be probably limited to like a 40-man scenario or something.
Most of us weren't. It was pretty damn awesome. One of those things where it was maybe cooler in idea and concept and story than it was in reality, because the servers basically fell over. But it was one of those truly unique MMO moments. Now, obviously, we won't really be reliving it.
But it was an epic shit show. I mean, what kind of memories people made from this thing? It's pretty damn cool. Kind of like I miss Wintergrass for the same reason. He used to just gather a bunch of people in the zone. And yeah, it used to create server issues at times, crazy amounts of lag and stuff. But man, Wintergrass was fun as hell.
That way,
and I don't even
because this time
PvP.
we're
I
doing
used to
it as
love
a
that
scenario. The scenario seems to be nearly the size of the zone, and the idea is that we're reliving the opening of the gates, but the timeways are a bit jumbled, so we've got Scourge, we've got Legion, and other old foes all about the place. Now, what's different here is this is not just a open world event, like, say, the Radiant Echoes event before the War Within expansion. This is a scenario. That probably means it's got a cap on players. Now, that is interesting. And you can also queue up for it at level 15, which again makes me think about leveling up fresh characters. Now, we don't know how this is going to be playing, but I'm imagining it'll flow like a staged zone event. And doing this via scenario is an interesting move. Maybe it's them wanting to keep it isolated from the world for technical reasons. Maybe they just want it to be easy to queue up and, teleport to it. Or perhaps this will have a more in-depth design that wouldn't be suitable for sharded open world content. I mean, in my head, I think of almost a miniature Warfront. I know Warfront is a funky word from BFA, but there is something in the idea that could work. Now, my final point is that this is built around the conceit of Chromie's codex. So the idea is she's there, she's got this codex, we're sort of...
I gotta read this comment. Sam, our leader, our king, handsome and somewhat bald. Glad to see you online, big guy. What's up, Steven? Thank you for that great comment. Yeah, this thing, by the way, I think the main reason why they did it this way is because of server stability. Because they know this shit would have broken the servers, no doubt.
Visiting different points in time. Now, instead of just doing this with no real foregrounding in the game, they've attached it to a character and they've attached it to an item with the form of the codex. And that makes me think, do they want to do this for other bits of Warcraft's history? Could we have parts of the War of the Ancients be represented in this way? The culling of Stratholme, but not limited to the design of a dungeon, right? Maybe the zombie event before Wrath of the Lich King. So if they're down for making big scenarios based on events from WoW's history, man, that's kind of cool. Next then, Korak's Revenge doesn't seem to be that different, but it is back. This is basically the Alterac Valley battleground, but it's modeled on how it used to play back in the day, where, this is shocking, people actually did the objectives and the matches weren't decided by an instant boss rush. One thing they have added though is an item that swaps your transmog to a more period-fitting one, and if you do the quest for it, you'll get the Stormpike Battle Ram for the Alliance and Frostwolf Snarler for the Horde.
Oh, that's cool.
But I will at least say, with solo queue rated battlegrounds existing,
I actually didn't know about this.
I'm finding myself in more of a PvP mood. And then finally, you got the world bosses, so that's Doomwalker, Azura Ghost, Kazak, and Dragons of Nightmare all being back and seemingly in their original locations, but then the Shavanger and Archivon, which definitely gives me nostalgic Wrath Baby memories, well, those are going to be in Tanaris, so that'll at least be a lot of shots at some normal mode gear for you. But that's actually not all. So celebrations have moved from inside the Caverns of Time to outside, and there's a bunch of new features.
There's a ton of stuff here.
We're getting a Trial of Style-like event. There's a refresh of the Lore Master quiz, a Secrets of Azeroth-like weekly set of quests that are basically helping guest relations solve problems. There's a Mount Showcase event, so I guess Trial of Style, but mounts. There's
Yeah,
an
the
event
mount
with Lore
off
Walker
thing.
Cho and a whole bunch of...
The mount off thing was really cool. I don't know if he's going to show a clip of it. Oh, he does. He's going to show a clip of it. It's literally a mount off competition where the person on the stage is mounting up and everybody else has to mount on the same mount. It's an awesome thing that they added to the game.
Other cute things like rewards that are famous hero and villain transformations. There's an ice rink, so I guess they're putting that Senarth boss room tech to use. There's a balloon ride around the place, and just lots of flavor. So, with that said, let's talk about progression, rewards, and timing for this event. The big thing is the Tier 2 remaster, which of course includes WoW's probably most famous set ever, the Judgment set. Yeah. And also, shout out to Tom Keck, because his fan remaster might have actually inspired this. But anyway, these are absolutely glorious.
If I have to be honest, Tom Keck's was better. But I understand there might be limitations to going with something this detailed in the game. But Tom Keck's was absolutely glorious. But it is nice to see that Blizzard actually took the time to remake the Judgment set for sure.
But anyway, these are absolutely glorious, if sometimes a little bit goofy. So Hunters, yes, we absolutely will look like we've just killed and skinned Spyro. Now, Death Knights, Demon Hunters, Monks, and Evokers will all get their own Tier 2 inspired set as well. So it's a total of 13 sets to get. The question, though, is how do you actually get them? So here's what we know. Bronze Celebration tokens are a new currency for the event, and they might be season limited. Might. So this is based on one bit of B-roll from the
here it is. Here it is. Look at this. Look behind me. Look at the Edwin Van Cleef thing. Look at this. Exquisite costume set, Edwin Van Cleef. Nice. So it looks like some of these are Time Warp badges. Oh, cool. Okay, some of these are going to be Time Warp badges, and the others are going to be this new Bronze Celebration token. Blizzard does love their currencies, man. Always getting new currencies.
They cut to. You can see here there's a cap of 125, and if you add up everything that's just on that one vendor, which doesn't
Illidari
include...
Doomhawk, too. Look at this. There's some interesting things in here. Crafted Warcloak. Some stuff in here that they didn't really talk about in the initial one. Anniversary Balloon Chest, Blizzard's Edge, Blizzard Wing Crown. Okay, Blizzard Wing... I think this is part of that anniversary set that they talked about where, Blizzard employees get like a 10-year, 15-year, 20-year thing. That's what these are. So you get these different pieces of armor. But this Edwin Van Cleef, they didn't even mention this thing. They didn't mention this. This is really, really cool.
The remasters, you get a cost of 140. And they've confirmed that the remasters will cost this currency. So that's certainly something. Now, the tokens come from the new weeklies, but Season 1 weeklies are also going to drop them. Now, I've got no idea how much the remaster sets will cost, but I definitely expect you won't be able to afford all of them. The currency itself is warband transferable. That makes me think that this is some sort of account-wide limit, just because it would be odd if you could just get to the 125 cap on loads and loads of different characters to get absolutely everything. That would certainly seem like circumventing the design, and I do imagine them doing this sort of limited so that it can be an evergreen feature. That being said, right, a major grain of salt. This isn't even on the PTR. This is pre-PTR B-roll. We don't even know when this video is edited together, so often the person editing a video like this will not maybe appreciate the potential for certain facts, say in a tooltip, in a piece of footage, to actually spark drama, even if that tooltip, say, happens to be out of date. Because again, we don't even know if that tooltip is in date. I can see Blizzard using the bones of this pretty much for every anniversary event going forward, so we'll have to see. I expect a limitation. We don't know how tight it's going to be. It's very much a case where just as the dose makes the poison, the tuning makes the design. Now, on that vendor, you did see that if you add everything up, it's 140 tokens, even though 125 is the seasonal cap. Right. That being said, a whole bunch of those items are...
There's also 2 pages of this, so, I mean, unless the second page is all like, what's it called, time walking badges or whatever, then it doesn't matter. But here, yeah, like you said, for these currencies, he's right about the total. This is also Death Knight specific. You can see the class tab up here, so I wonder if there's more beyond that.
From past anniversary events that would be considered to be very rare because they were otherwise impossible to get. I can see those being fairly expensive, so it could be the case you'll be able to afford maybe a few of those sets. All I'd say to Blizzard is be cautious and err on the side of generosity. You can always add things to this later, and with the War Within seeming to be just positive vibes so far, we don't really need the drama. Now, if you do take a look at that vendor again, you see very rare items, like say the Baby Blizzard Bear. Very few people have that. The Onyxian Whelpling, the Molten Corgi, the Core Hound. Again, big rip if you remember the joys of Molten Core LFR for that one back in 2014. There's Hatespark the Tiny and Little variant, as well as some new rewards. These are a sword shield and an armored phoenix mount that are themed after Blizzard's internal employee service rewards. Those look absolutely great. Then on top of that, we got the November trading post, which is pretty nice. It's got these Warcraft 3 and Frozen Throne faction back pieces.
Yeah, these are pretty cool. I like the human one a lot.
I think they look brilliant, and the good news is you don't need to buy them individually. They will just be the log completion reward. And of course, on top of all that, there'll be like the Time Walking vendor refreshes. So there's a whole bunch of stuff there. There'll be for Time Warp coins. Again, those Time Warp coins that are now account-wide transferable. Okay, let's talk about timing then. In the Wowcast, they said they started working on this thing last autumn, and it's going to be longer than the usual few weeks. Now, on the site, they said this will span a couple of months, and it actually lasts for seemingly all of the 11.0.5 patch cycle, because this is the main feature of patch 11.0.5. So I'm imagining October to December. Now, taking a look at
the 8-week patch cadence is what they've talked about a lot of times, so I imagine this lasting, at least 8 weeks.
24 roadmap, you see that it doesn't have 11.0.7, which I'm anticipating as being a January release. And to just go through the dates there, if we hold to the 8-week cycles the Dragonflight did, things basically look like this. The expansion came out 26 September, then 21 October is 8 weeks after that, and the 22nd would be the nearest Tuesday. So basically expect 11.05 to come out on the 22nd of October. Then, if you add 8 weeks to that, you get the 17th of December, which is obviously too late to launch a patch. And that means my money for patch 11.0.7, that's January 14th, 2025. All in all, quite a lot to keep us busy with. I mean, an entire other...
So we'll be getting this thing late October. That's a good timing, I think.
Raid. That'll be pretty cool. That said, I would also expect
should all have our
class
tier
changes,
sets by then.
Maybe the odd quest line, that sort of thing, because the roadmap does mention there is a little bit more than just the event. But that's not the only thing for your calendar. Warcraft Direct is happening, and it's basically our replacement for BlizzCon because there isn't going to be a BlizzCon this year. Likely in that, we'll see the 11.1 patch reveal, maybe a bit of a tease of what's after that. I'd say also perhaps what we can expect from Plunderstorm and Remix, just what that team's been doing, as well as Season of Discovery. And on that, Phase 5, which is Blackwing Layers, currently on the PTR, and yes, there are the expected raids that we're going to get beyond that one. Like, yes, there'll be Anchorage, there'll be Naxxramas, but also probably things like Karazhan Crypts, maybe something with Scarlet Monastery. I don't know, I expect them to have something to pull out of the bag there. Overall, though, pretty damn busy times, and I'm especially interested in where we're headed next because we have no idea what's after Nerubar, right? Like, after this raid.
Yeah, we have no hint yet.
Xal'atath is probably gone for a bit, and that basically means that we don't know exactly where we're going, but there is so much lore speculation stuff that feels super immediate. So if you've already finished the campaign and you want the lowdown on that, then I will see you over on this video, and of course, be sure to check out today's sponsor, Ugreen. Seriously, their stuff is brilliant. All right, that's it for me. I'll see you over there.
Yeah, really cool stuff. He actually mentioned a lot of things in this video that I didn't even know yet about the anniversary event, and I've read up on this shit a lot. So, nice video. Overall, end of October release. I see that happening for sure. Edwin Van Cleef said, I mean, come on, a lot of people didn't even notice that. And just having fun. WoW's been great. The cadence has been great. The patches have been good so far. This will be our first official patch since launch of the War Within, and the next raid, what could it be? I don't know. Hallowfall inspired, maybe something that has to do with that. Maybe we get a new island, off the shore of Khazalgar, or something, or we go deeper. Could go deeper. You could always go deeper into the ground. Who knows? Maybe we'll see something about that.